Woohoo! All right, let's see what happens tonight. Well, if you catch this in the beginning and happen to watch it later on, I'm running a little bit late. Running just a little bit late. Being that it's Monday night, we normally have, kind of fend for yourself night here for supper. And we decided to do pizza, and it didn't get here till late, so I had to quickly inhale 2 slices of pizza and then try to get here. So I'm not completely 100% set up, but I am trying. And if you come into the house, give me a shout out. Just say, let me know who's in here. Do. All right. Oh my goodness. Like I said, you're here for the first time. Say hello. If you've been here many times, still say hello. Let me know who all's in here tonight. If you're trying to figure out what we talk about, if it's your first time here, this is a duck hunting channel. We talk about ducks. We talk about dogs. We talk about guns, ammo. Now that turkey season's on its way, we're going to talk about turkey hunting a little bit. I'm wearing check it out, guys, wearing my Swaggerty sausage. Swaggerty sausage sent me a shirt. Talk about rice ponds? We can talk about that too. How you doing, Christopher? What would you like to know, or do you know enough? What would you like? Personally, I think, if your soil permits a moist soil, such as rice or anything of that, natural millets, smart weed, that kind of thing, I think that's the way to go, personally. I know we're not all going to get away from corn ponds, but I wish more and more people would go to small rice fields. Even the guys that have larger places to be able to plant. What I don't think they understand is you can actually plant these fields, or have a farmer plant these fields, actually harvest these fields. You can make money out of it, and you got plenty of food for ducks. You got the ratoon crop and all kind of stuff. Craig, welcome back. You're going to try it in a few spots this year. Where are you, Christopher? If we've talked in the past, please forgive me. My memory is fading. But where are you from, out of curiosity? What's up, Jeff? Easily. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here, I've been doing some reading on wild rice, and there is a southern variety of wild rice, but I'm not sure where most people order wild rice for planting, whether it will take in our southern climate. And what I have read and looked at was a lot of these people will start to grow rice and then transplant it. And you can do this on a large scale. You can do this on a small scale. So let's talk a small scale for real quickly. I've heard of guys taking, those little baby blue pools you get out of Walmart. They get the large one. You know what I'm talking about? The large plastic pools, disposable things. You can put some good soil in there and start to grow your rice in that. And as it starts to mature, you can actually gather it, put it in like burlap with some more soil, and then fold it up and chunk it. At least that's what I was told. What I've kind of read. Yeah, you can broadcast it. I would definitely let it soak in water for 48 hours or so. And then you can broadcast it. I've done commercial rice that you can, commercial rice seed in certain places. I've done that in the past. Yeah, Jeff, I wish I had that problem where rice grew like weeds here. Does it tell you when to plant that wild rice? Because I've heard a lot of different things. One of the biggest things I heard that it needs to stratify. Basically, you broadcast it over standing water in the wintertime, and as it'll push through. Unfortunately, I did not. I had a little piece of property, private property, and we tried it there. And the next year, we ended up losing the property. So we just, I don't think the birds found it. It did grow fairly well. It was growing. And I know that it had seeded out. I know some of those seeds fell off. I know some birds were eating it, but the next year, like I said, we lost the property and we haven't done it again since. Well, I don't know about wild rice, and I have to assume that it is very similar to like a commercial rice, like Carolina Gold or of some sort of that, or Rex, or some sort of that. It's a 90-day maturity. Hey, Charles, it has a 90-day. It matures out in about 90 days. So if you plant it too early, it won't do you any good. Your local summer ducks, wood ducks, blackbirds, so forth and so forth will eat it out before the season gets here. I've always been told to plant rice plots in July. That's when I've been told to do it. Well, believe it or not, rice has more carbs than corn. But I think in the more northern states, Jeff, that they would prefer corn later in the season. In the southern states where he's in Easley, which is my home state. Our ducks are, this is pretty much one of their last stops. I mean, they'll hit Georgia, they'll hit Florida, but they're looking for invertebrates. They need the protein to help with egg production. They help it with egg production, so they need the invertebrates when they get here during the late winter. Moist soil produces more invertebrates than a corn pond will. I know that. I'm not talking about your fields. I think, Jeff, you hunt a lot of fields, don't you? A lot of corn fields, cut corn fields. And they're on their way south. So when they finally get here, they're looking more for invertebrates. Outdoor Central, how you doing? Are you ready for the mallard genetic results from the Atlantic Flyway this year? We are about to get info back on the ducks we submitted to the study. Yeah, I am. Where are you from, buddy? Outdoor Central, where are you from? Because I do believe in cross migration, and I think that the birds will migrate not only north and south but east and west. You're in the Low Country, okay? Are you going to be in Columbia for the Sportsman's Classic by chance? Do y'all have a booth? Are you going to have a booth, or are you just going to go visit? I plan on being there both Friday and Saturday. I gotta leave early Friday to get back here to do a live stream. Just visiting. Okay, I have to do a live stream that Friday night. At least that's what I'm planning on doing, if I can get back in time. Because when I set up for that live stream, I forgot that was the weekend of the Sportsman's Classic. So I plan on being there back that Friday, but I plan on going back Saturday. But either way, I'll be walking around. I do not have a booth. I'll be walking around a lot. And so if you see me, come up and have words with me. Oh, I'm 100% with you on that. The genetic, I mean, so first of all, let's put this on the table. I am 100% totally against released mallard program. 100% totally against it. But I am never going to tell a man what to do on his property. Okay? I'm against it, but I will never tell a man what to do on his property. So we understand that 100% and completely. However, they have been releasing mallards on the Atlantic Flyway for more years than what a lot of people realize. The earliest that I have been able to find out, and a very limited research on this, was in the 1920s. And you heard me correctly. In the 1920s, they were releasing mount, and they may have been doing that prior to that. You have to remember, it may not be on the scale as we're seeing now, but you have to remember that the wild mallard on the Atlantic Flyway is not as populous, it never has been, as the wild mallard on the Mississippi and Central Flyways. With that said, when the first settlers came here to the United States, now the United States, then it was America, to the American shores, they brought with them different things. They brought chickens, they brought fowl, waterfowl. Some of them brought pigs, cows, so forth and so forth. And some of these more likely got away. So they have been bringing the mallard, uh, not a true wild mallard, but a mallard, a domesticated mallard, so to speak, into the United States, probably when they first started arriving on the shores. I agree 100% with you. I mean, I'm agreeing 100% with you. So I am not disagreeing with you. I want you to understand that. There's a lot involved. Lord of mercy, I can't remember that guy's name. I call him the Russian. Um, he's a waterfowl biologist. I believe he's of Russian descent. He has done some tremendous studies on this. Hey, Randy, how you doing? On the genetics of mallards on the Atlantic Flyway. And don't think for a minute that these ducks will not cross over into the Mississippi or even into the Central. I have a band. I wish I could find the paperwork readily available. I don't have it. But I shot a mallard here in South Carolina that was banded in Saskatchewan. And so I do know that they cross over. They will cross over flyways. And a lot of our ducks, what a lot of people don't realize, a lot of our mallard ducks come from the Great Lakes region to begin with. They fly down, they cross over the Smokies and Appalachians into Virginia, North Carolina. Well, they hit Tennessee and then into North Carolina and then here in South Carolina. So I do know that. But they will cross over. There is a crossover. I mean, you have to, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that, because if you are familiar with our state of South Carolina, the Atlantic, what they considered the Atlantic Flyway, was basically down the coast. It was everything on the coast of South Carolina. Santee was not here then. Santee wasn't built until the 1930s, late 1930s. When the majority, so the only time you would see mallards or a large concentration of ducks inland, remember all these reservoirs weren't here yet, you would see them only when you had high water that year, when you had the swamps were flooding out and so forth, so they could get to the acorns. So they would, and how a duck knows when there's high water is beyond me, but they know, and they would fly west and hit these swamps, the Santee swamps, watery swamps, all these areas. So just knowing that information tells you straight off that these ducks will cross over. Don't think for a moment they won't cross over. They banded put a radio transmitter on a mallard hen, and they actually followed this mallard hen from the Santee National Wildlife Refuge at Santee down there at Caney Bay. And that duck literally got up that morning and flew to Louisiana, fed all day, and returned that night. Oh yeah, the Widgeon and Pendant, yeah, they all do, bro. They all cross over. But you know as well as I do, Charles, when most people talk about ducks, they're talking about mallards. So I kind of stick with that. I'm sticking with those right now. But yeah, pintails do the same thing. Widgeon do the same thing. Don't think that the large concentrations of widgeon and pintails hit the west coast of Florida via the Atlantic Flyway. They're going to come down the Mississippi Flyway and then veer east. But yeah, any boys from South Carolina, y'all going to be at the Palmetto Sportsman's Classic? I will be there walking around. I may have a camera with me just to video some things if I see something, but it's basically I'm going to watch and talk to people and hopefully try to get people interested in my channel and whatnot. Jeff saying they get a few releases from dog trials. Yeah, those birds they're released. You get flyaways from there. So you have a genetically altered duck, and you know you can't sit there and tell me it's the same thing. Really, you can't. I have shot a handful of those SCWA mallards before, and before we had the big release program that we have now, you know, I caught the tail end of the mallard heyday here in South Carolina, and they don't act the same. They flat out don't act the same. You go anywhere else around the country, they're going to act different than what they do here. That's usually a west wind. Yeah, exactly. Outdoor Central, do you have a channel? Do you have a YouTube channel? Curiosity? Let's see here. Anyway, for those of y'all that watched my latest video on the turkey shot, which is this right here. John, how you doing, buddy? Let me tell you something. That right there is going to be freaking awesome. I got you, brother. I got you. Whether you know this or not, I don't know, but I am also on Instagram and TikTok. So if you're there in one of those places, hit me up, dude. This shot is 2 3/4. This is 16 gauge, 2 3/4, 1 3/4 ounce, running 1100 feet per second, number 9 TSS. And this is from Salt Creek Custom Ammo. And I did a pattern test with it. And to be honest, I like the patterns I was getting. If you watched it, you'll know that I shot a full choke and the majority of the pattern was high and to the left. You'll notice that then I switched over to modified, and the modified seemed to hold a better pattern. But y'all just wait, because I like the patterns, don't get me wrong. But I would have preferred it to be more dialed in. So I made a couple phone calls, talked to some people. I know this is going to sound like maybe be a shock to a lot of y'all, but as far as turkey hunting goes, I've never used an optic like a hologram, whether it be a Burris or whatever. And I got a hold of, Lord knows, what's that man's name? Hang on a second. Hang on. Can't believe I forgot it. I got a hold of Meadow Creek Mounts out of up in your area, outdoor, up in the Seneca area, and I ordered a set of mounts and a optic from them. So I'm going to put this once I get it in. I'm gonna do a video on the optic itself. Then I'm going to do probably a mounting video on how to mount it to your shotgun, because this actually mounts to the rib of your gun, not to the receiver. So you don't have to drill and tap to get a mount. Plus it gets it away from your eye, so you can get better peripheral vision. And then once I get some more shells in, I'm going to do another pattern where we really dial this ammo in. Because I really do believe if I had a sight and can dial it in, that I would literally be blowing the head off these turkey targets. And it's going to be an awesome thing. So stay tuned for that. It's coming. Jeff says we got another liberal season. Man, I wish South Carolina would go ahead and set our limits, Jeff. We won't know anything until August. They won't say a word to us until August. Oh, we'll have some ideas and kind of get an idea of it, but as far as setting the season, we're not going to see it. So what do you think about liberal seasons? Anybody we'll talk about that for a minute. What do y'all think about the liberal seasons? Should it still be at 6 ducks, 4 mallards, 3 wood ducks, 1 bluebill certain parts of the year, 1 bluebill after? What do y'all think? Hopefully while y'all are typing that up, I think I saw 6 mallards total. I don't like the structure we have right now here, especially here in South Carolina. Listen, I'm caught in a quandrum here, because what sells is mallard ducks, greenheads. That's what sells products. That can sell your YouTube channel. It can sell your TikTok. It can sell Instagram, as far as all your social media. It also sells decoys. It sells hunting gear, clothes, guns, shells. But here on the Atlantic Flyway, we have and pretty much all across the country, we have a 3 wood duck limit. I know that it's hard to count wood ducks, or as I like to call them, summer ducks, because of where they go. They're in the woods, they're hiding up under trees, and they roost in trees. I mean, it's just really hard to count a wood duck. So I don't know what the numbers, I don't think anybody knows what the numbers truly are. But when you have a state that shoots predominantly nothing but wood ducks, I think you need to preserve that and maybe even reduce the limit by 1. As far as the mallard duck goes, I'm kind of in agreement with you there, Jeff. We need to have the days because we've been so many days waiting for them to come, but we need to lower limits a little bit. Okay, I got you. I got what you're saying. Okay. Now, on the East Coast or the Atlantic Flyway, I do believe that the mallard limit should be reduced. Not last season, but the season before, they reduced it to 2, and then they immediately drew it back up. Probably due to political outcry from private landowners who release ducks. But regardless, I think that the mallard population is not that strong on the Atlantic Flyway. It needs to be reduced for a few years, and it needs to be set. This is something that needs to be put down in writing. We're going to reduce the limit for just for sake of argument. We're going to do it for 5 years. And at the end of 5 years, we'll bring the limit back up. I don't want us to ever not see that limit come back up. But we need to really study it a little bit more. It took me a few hunts this year to get a limit of woodies. Yeah, I know the feeling. But I just don't see a 6 duck limit right now. I think it should be reduced. I mean, I remember the days of 30 and 4. I remember those. As far as the days, I'm kind of torn because of my love of duck hunting. I want as many days as I can get out there because, like a lot of you guys, I can only hunt unless I take vacation 2 days a week. That's it. 2 days a week. That's it. That's all I can hunt unless I take a vacation. Most everybody is Saturday and Sunday. Mine just happened to be, as of right now, Friday and Saturday. I feel that's going to come to an end where I will have nothing but Saturday and Sunday off, and I'll have to start adjusting my hunting back to Saturdays and Sundays. But for right now, it's Friday and Saturday. So I don't know if I really want to see a reduction in days right now. Because of what Jeff said, we will spend so many days out there looking, trying to find, and we got to hunt them once we find them. I think we need the days. I think we need the days we got now, but I do believe in a reduction of limit. As of right now, unless I can, something changes my mind, that's what I think right now. I remember 2 duck limits in the 80s. Wow. Well, I was alive when they were doing it, but I don't remember it because I was too young. But at one time, Arkansas had a 1 mallard limit. A 1 mallard limit. As a matter of fact, guys from Arkansas at one time would come here to hunt. Yeah, you're right, Charles. There are some ducks out there I can't believe are still on the endangered list, and Bufflehead being one of them, mergansers being the other. It seems like you can't have a hunt without shooting one or the other, especially if you're on any type of open water or salt. Y'all had a point system. We never had a point system here, but we did have there was a point system in Texas. And believe it or not, it was 100 points. You could shoot up to 100 points. Drakes were like 10 points, if I remember correctly. But what really fired me up was Drake pintails were 10 points a piece. and pintail hens were 90. So if you shot a hen pintail and a drake pintail, you were done. But if you didn't shoot any hens, you could shoot 10 pintail drakes. Carl! What up, brother? Glad you could come back. Hey, if y'all haven't already done so, how about do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button, and show me some love that way. That way, this video, this live stream right now, and the fact that my other videos will get on the algorithm. So, yeah, it's been more than a minute, brother. I hope you're doing well. Did I see somebody in a dance competition on Facebook? Did I see that? Congrats. So, okay, cool, man, cool. I do need to apologize to everybody. And my daughter's certainly not me. Yeah, I hear you, brother. I just didn't want to say anything like that, so I just want to make sure. But kind of an apologies. Last week was kind of weird. Every day that I went outside, except for last Friday, it was pouring down rain. Every time I got a chance to take my camera and go outside and work bougie, it was pouring down rain. It didn't mean I didn't work her. It was just, well, I'm not going to run a camera in the rain. I mean, y'all can understand that, I hope. And so I didn't come out with a bougie blog this week or last week. Now that the time has changed and it starts getting dark now, it was almost 8 o'clock here when it got dark. We'll be able to get out there. I still have this rain has made all my weeds grow, and my lawnmower is not acting right. It keeps throwing belts, so I've got to get it fixed. But we'll get back on the bougie train very soon and show you how she's doing. Still working her on force to pile, and so we'll still be doing that. We're still having her kennel into the little dog blind that I have. And I think this week we're going to start working again on casting. If you follow the channel or follow any other of my platforms, I had her casting at a very young age, and we still do a little bit of it, but I kind of want to get it more of how I start to do the casting. I think the season needs to be a little bit longer. Let the second season start. Well, Randy, I still think it's a 60-day season, but I'll tell you, to be honest with you, I like what North Carolina does. They have no Sunday hunting. Now, I know that's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings because they can only hunt Saturday and Sunday. And if that happens here and I have to end up working Monday through Friday with a job, I'm going to be up. I won't be able to hunt but one day a week. So, however, with that said, the season opens up generally for 3 days in October, 2 or 3 days in October. It closes down for a week. Then it opens right back up for a couple of days, still in October. Then they have, it starts earlier in November and then runs for a couple of weeks, and then closes back down and then reopens and then runs to January 31st. I really do like that because it gets you some of those early ducks that will come that are here that do migrate in. And I just think it alleviates a lot of pressure off the birds. But I can see the other side of it. Well, I only get to hunt 2 days a week, Saturday and Sunday. You're gonna take that one day from me, so I do understand that as well. But we can't take it any past. We can't take it past January 31st. That's set in federal guidelines. So it would take an act of Congress, literally an act of Congress, to take it past January 31st. Hey, it was supposed to pour down 2 inches of rain here, and I'm in the Midlands. And I bet we didn't get a quarter inch, but it was misting and rainy every time I went to step outside. Every time I went to step outside to grab a camera, it'd start raining. And we did work. We worked in the rain, but I just couldn't film any of it. Yeah, it does get colder later. This year it didn't. I mean, unless something happens in the next couple of weeks, I don't see it ever. We're going to see any more winter. We're sending all your way in the rivers. Yeah. I looked at the river totals earlier today and I went, my Lord. I can go anywhere I want to in the Santee Swamp right now. Anywhere. It doesn't matter. I can go anywhere I want to. It is flooded. We got a lot of rain, rivers flooded behind the house, and it's still more coming too. You might as well wait another 4 days for it, unless we get another rain. But as far as Christopher, as far as seeding your rice, I would let it. I would wait. Now, do some research there, brother, because I'm not really familiar with wild rice germination. But if it's a 90-day, if it heads out in 90 days, I would wait. I would wait until July before you broadcast it. Same here. I like second hunting season structure. My best hunts are early November and January. Not hunting Sunday has never bothered me. Yeah, there you go. That's coming from the horse's mouth. He lives in North Carolina. You gonna be chasing turkeys? I plan on it. I got these new shells in. Now, this is an empty box because I've already shot them trying to pattern. But this is 16 gauge cold turkey TSS. And if you can read that, 2 3/4, 1 3/4 ounce, 1,100 feet per second, number 9 TSS. That's what I'm going to be shooting this year. I've got hopefully some more coming. Took me a little bit to get it dialed in. I don't have it quite dialed in yet, Kyle. So I've ordered an optic. It should be here hopefully this week. And I'll show that to you when I get it. And we'll do an unboxing video and then probably how to mount it properly. This is a mount that mounts to the rib of your shotgun instead of having the tap and die. So, and it's been recommended to me by a lot of people. And I talked to the owner of the company the other day. So this is supposed to be 100 to 120 days to maturity. Then I would definitely back it up. You want it to head out right before right as duck season's coming in. So back yourself up and maybe give you a week or two leadway. Coming from the River Refuge in Washington. Gotcha. I hope it works out for you, man. I am very curious as to how it does in your area. River went up Friday and dropped about 2 foot since then. Whoa. I am really curious how that wild rice seed works here in our state. Because if it does good, man, I don't see, you should be able to plant it anywhere. I know I wouldn't plant it in deep water, because it needs sunshine, bro. So I'd plant it in very shallow, 6 inches or less if you can. I mean, I'm just making a suggestion here. I would try to plant it in 0 to 6 inches of water. So if you can draw down your water, like let's say you have a pond and you can actually draw it down, I would definitely broadcast it on the banks and maybe right at the water's edge. Then as it starts to grow, then I would start adding more water to it and letting the water come up gently as it grows, and then try to get up the full pool later on, and then that where the heads will be right there at the water level. That's a suggestion. I hope that works. If there's any way you can, like I said, pull the water down, that's why it's so hard to do that. I mean, first of all, let me tell you this: it is against the law to plant it on public areas. It's against the law to plant anything on public areas. We all know that. Think carp will mess with it? I don't know. I don't know, dude. I do not know. So, but I do know that. All right. So, again, reiterate: it is against the law to plant anything on public areas. Okay. Period. Letting you know. Now, rice, if you're going to, you're not supposed to top seed on the ground. There needs to be some kind of tillage. So if you can muck it up somehow with a rototiller or something, and then drag a harrow over it, that would be the best. The best. The seed will grow through the soil. And once you put water on it, will then grow through the water column. However, it cannot sink to the bottom, grow down in a very deep area, and then turn around and grow back up. It's going to take it a longer time to do that. So that's why I suggest go as shallow on your private property, go as shallow as you can, 6 to 8 inches, no more than 8 inches. And then if you can muck up the mud bank somehow. What you laughing at, Kyle? Think carp will mess with it. I don't. Who knows what carp will do, man? They say carp won't eat certain foods, but I guarantee if you're hungry enough, you're going to eat anything. I've been looking into planting rice in my pond this year. If you do, Randy, let me know. Because like I said, it needs, for rice to grow into a field, it needs to be a very luminous soil. A very luminous soil. That way it can, so when you put water on it, it'll hold water a whole lot better. I've been told to drain the pond and drop the seeds in the mud. I mean, if what if you can't till it, if you can't till it under, or you can't harrow over it because of it's too mucky, then I highly suggest soaking it for at least 48 hours. It's not going to hurt it if you soak it longer than that, but minimum 48 hours. That seed, the water will get in the seed and the husk, and it'll weigh it down. So when you pick it up and you throw it down, it's going to give it a little bit more oomph to get into that mud. Wild rice is kind of like got points on it, so it's like it's like throwing a dart. So it's easier to stick in the mud that way. Cultivated rice, such as Rex or Carolina Gold or Charleston Gold or anything like that, commercial type rice, it's more rounded, so it has to be tilled in. So be aware of that as well. I did a experiment with rice many years ago on a shallow area of a pond that, like I said, was 6 to 8 inches. We could not till it. We soaked it. We threw it in 6 to 8 inches of water. That grew. Anything deeper than we didn't have any. It didn't grow. It never grew. And the main reason was it couldn't get to the sunlight. Sunlight couldn't get to it, rather. And it needs a lot of sunlight. A lot of sunlight. I can tell you that the local wood ducks will love that pond if you do it. And it may take them a couple years to actually find it, but they will find it. They will find it. The good thing about if you're doing rice is more, of course, it grows in the water. I mean, we all know that. So it's a sturdier plant when the water gets on it. Stuff like Japanese millet and other types of millets, whether it be Provost or brown top or anything like that, it's just not strong enough to grow in water. It won't last long. The good thing is the seeds, the plants themselves may not last long and they may drown out. But on the other side of that is that plant that's decaying will attract invertebrates. And that's what the ducks are looking for when they're in the southern states. They're looking for those invertebrates, those little bugs. I got a corn feeder in the pond now feeding them. I hear you. They're looking for those invertebrates. They're looking for those snails, little bugs, crawfish, so forth and so forth. They're looking for that because they need that protein for egg production. Like I said earlier, it grows wild around here and usually where the water receded. There you go. And go through. It can start off growing in dirt, and then it can grow through the water column, but it has a hard time trying to do both at the same time. But getting back to Kyle's question about turkeys, I do plan on chasing them this year. Probably not as hot and heavy as I did last year, but I do plan on chasing them a few times. I hadn't even been out to my property, the property that I hunt, because I absolutely know it's with all this rain, it's underwater. And if I was to drive an hour, go set up a blind and all that stuff, so I can run cameras and whatnot, it will just be a waste of time. All righty. What else we got going on? What else, guys? What else? Help me out here. Let's see here. We talked about it quite a bit. I've been told to plant soybeans. I have hunted in flooded soybean fields before, out in Arkansas, as a matter of fact. I don't know. I don't know if a soybean is a preferred duck food. I think they'll eat it if they don't have anything else to eat. I personally would rather hunt over either rice, and my second choice would be smartweed. And that is something, Randy, I'm surprised a lot of people don't do either, is because it does take a lot of time for it to stratify and then to germinate and then to grow. And it's very expensive to get a small bag of seed, but you have to remember that it's small seed, but it grows a huge plant. But smartweed, and it'll grow up once it starts to sprout on the mud banks. It will grow up. It'll grow and continuously. When the seeds fall off, hit the bottom, the ducks don't eat it, then it'll grow right back. And it's actually a better food for them. It's a natural food. You have a lot of invertebrates that get into that kind of thing. So I would also look into smartweed. And you as well, Chris, if you got a place to plant it, if you got a private place, I would definitely, I mean, if I had my own place, I could tell you it'd either be in rice or smartweed or a combination of both. And natural millet, natural wild millet, springle top, so forth, so forth. But Randy, if I were you, I'd look into smartweed is another duck food that will choke out your duck hole. Yes, it will. That's why you got to cut it back. You got to cut it back. If you can get it growing, I know one guy that has a small impoundment, and he planted nothing but smartweed in it. And every year, he goes in right where he has one blind at, and he goes in there and he bush hogs right around his blind, and then he tills it under. And smartweed, $20 a pound. There you go. Yeah, it will choke it out, but you gotta go in there and cut a hole in it. It is whew, that stuff. It's like duck candy. But I mean, you're going to get a lot of seed in that 1 pound, Randy. A lot of seed in that 1 pound. I don't know how big your pond is, but you could cover a lot of ground with a pound of seed. A lot. I wish I had a smart weed problem. I wish we had a smart weed problem. I have seen ducks land where there was a pond that was reamed by smartweed right around the banks. And I have seen ducks land in the middle of that pond and swim as fast as they can to the bank and just start devouring smartweed. They'll land out in the open and they'll come straight to the bank. And Lord help them if you got a little bit of flood water and that smartweed is underwater just a little bit. I pay good money for a Cajun voodoo spell to get better luck in the field. What's up, Keith? How you doing, buddy? To plant 15 to 20 pounds per acre. Okay. I personally wouldn't plant. I mean, if I had a small spot, I mean, I'd plant what I had and then see how it works. And I think they mean for that to be completely nothing but smartweed. Oh, ducks love it. It's me that hates it. Well, do your combination, Randy. Do a little combination. Plant some rice in one section and plant a little bit of smartweed over there or another section, and then watch and see what happens. And then to kind of give you an idea, because once it's planted, it's going to come back, dude. It's good. It's going to come back. It's an annual. It'll come back and back over and over and over. And especially if you have a drawdown right at the end of the season, you draw your water down, get all that growing again, or whatever seed that fell off, and it starts getting that sunshine, and it will come back. But it needs a lot of sunshine. I do know that. It needs a lot of sunshine. A lot of sunshine. Yep. Once you have smart weed, you'll always have smart weed, wet or dry. I'll tell you something else that a lot of people should do. And how many of y'all know what a sparkleberry bush is, or buckbrush that has a little browns in the wintertime, has that little seed ball. You can literally walk up to a button brush, or we call them sparkleberry bushes, and cut a limb off. A little thin limb. Cut it off. Cut several of them off. Wrap them in burlap. Put them in water, and then take them, and then you can transplant them. and it will grow eventually. It's not something that's going to happen that year, but eventually it'll grow up, and then it will have this little brown seed ball on it. First, it'll come out green, and then it'll have this seed ball on it. Ducks love it, especially wood ducks. Wood ducks absolutely love that stuff. And I have literally seen wood ducks swimming under it, come out of the water, grab the limb, shake, have that seed fall down, and then they'll sit there and eat the seed. It's another great natural food source. But you can transplant that stuff. Very easy to. It will take a long time for it to grow back. I will tell you that. We just shove it in the mud and let it go. I'm going to try rice and millet. Okay, gotcha. That's pretty cool to be talking about this kind of stuff this time of year, man. Most people want to continuously talk about fishing or turkey hunting because as it's coming around, but yeah, Keith, I would definitely look in, depending on your soil content. And I think I know if it's the same place you've told me about in the past, I would definitely try wild rice. I almost definitely would try wild rice. I would. I would. If it's the same place you've been telling me about, I would definitely try wild rice. You've seen wood ducks do that on wild millet. Yeah. Yep. You get some of those sparkleberry bushes that are fairly large and fairly big, um, and the limbs get big, they will actually hold the weight of a wood duck. And I've actually seen wood ducks in the tree itself, in the bush itself, um, eating, feeding off those sparkleberry balls, those seed pods. But that's what I do, Keith. Just let it soak for about 48 hours. Don't worry. I mean, if you can't get to it for like 3 or 4 days, that's fine. Let it soak in a cooler and take it out there when it's wet and throw it on the bank right there. At least 6 inches, minimum of 6 to 8 inches of water. Pontoon Jody, what's going on? What is happening with you? Y'all catching catfish? Y'all, if y'all like to watch catfishing on YouTube, run over to Pontoon Jody. She is an awesome catfishing person. Awesome. She has a great channel. I sometimes go in there under the cuff when she ain't looking and watch her live streams. She does live streams pretty much all the time while she's fishing. So y'all go and check her out if you get a chance. Great person, great friend. Is there a type I should plant? Would cattle cause a problem when they're growing? Cows will eat just about anything. There's a company out of Washington State. Christopher mentioned it earlier. If you're still here, put that name down. They sell a wide variety of seeds and wild rice. And Keith, I'll try to give you a call later tomorrow. And River Refuge, thank you. River Refuge. I'm always catching catfish Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all can catch Pontoon Jody. She's a great gal, man. I love her to death. You just got to watch every now and then. She'll fall asleep on the camera and won't realize it. But other than that, she's pretty good. Jody, I just gave you a wrench. So if you want to go ahead and post your channel name in there, go right ahead. But you should have a wrench now. So go ahead if you want to post your channel name in there so people can click on it if they want to save it for later. You have a doctor's excuse for that. But let's see here while I still got some people in here, not next weekend, but the weekend of the 22nd. If you're in South Carolina or close, head on out to Columbia for the Sportsman's Classic. I will be there. I don't have a booth. I'll just be walking around. I hope to be there both Friday and Saturday. Walking around, talking to people, seeing old friends, that kind of thing. Just having a good time is what I plan on doing it. If all works out and I get back in time, I'm going to set up a live stream for that Friday night. And that'll be the birthday bash coming up. That'll be the March 22nd, I believe. It's Friday. That'll be the birthday bash here live stream. We'll hold that out in the shed, so I won't disturb anybody here in the house. If everything works out okay, that's what I'm planning on doing. And so don't be mad if you don't see it. If something happens, I don't get back till late, but that's what I do plan on doing. All right, what else we got going on? What else we got going on tonight, guys? I really didn't have a whole lot of topics set up. I think we've covered most of it. What do y'all want to know about? What do y'all want to talk about? Let me know what you want to talk about tonight. What else? What else do you want to talk about? Well, I'll be there that Friday and Saturday. Just let me know. I talked to my wife. She knows that I'm going to be there talking to everybody. And she would prefer to just walk around and just see different things. So, probably what I'll do is go there Friday and talk to everybody, and then on Saturday take her, and then we'll just hit a few spots and then head on home. But we're hoping to be there. I mean, I plan on being there both Friday and Saturday, and hopefully she'll be there with me Saturday. I have 42 hidden in there. You never know. I just reach in. I'm surprised I don't have pizza in there right now, Jody, because right before this is when the pizza man came, and I had to wolf down a couple slices so my stomach wouldn't growl too much while we were sitting there talking. I had to do. Speaking of that, I had to do a short training class today on a video conference thing, and a lot of these people they've talked to me on the phone, we've chatted, but they've never seen me. And when I turned my camera on, it was like they were like, "Oh my god!" We were talking about going, so anything is possible. Cool beans. Um, yeah, they saw me for the first time, and they were like, "Holy crap!" And I said, "Well, you should have seen it a couple weeks ago before I got it cut, because I had it. It was a lot longer. It needs another trim. I'm having some issues right in here, right on these edges." Really? What in the heck? Don't tell me that somebody lit her up with a shot collar while she was retrieving. Please don't tell me that. Please don't tell me somebody shocked her while she had a bumper in her mouth. Please don't tell me that. Please. Um, Jeff, what type of bumpers? Yep. God, I knew it. I knew it. All right. What kind of bumpers are you using right now? Are you using the hard plastic ones? If you're using the hard plastic ones, and that's the kind that that person was using, see if you can get a. I don't have one in here. I don't have my bag. My bag's in the garage, dude. Oh man. Um, my training bag is in the garage, or I'd go get it. See if you can find like a soft bumper, like a Donkin dead duck, or they have them in doves and teal and whatnot. And I would go very small right now, dove or a teal, but it's very soft, very soft. Um, I would do that, or get, they do have those canvas bumpers, that are made of canvas. Um, Try that as well, and just take your time with her, dude. Just take your time with her. If she doesn't want to pick it up, then leave her alone. Let her, don't force her to do it. Come back a little bit later that day, try it again. Um, Once she figures out you're not going to pop her when she has that in her mouth. Oh, man, I hate it when, you know, all right, so I am not a professional dog trainer. I don't claim to be one. But I have been training dogs for 40 something years, and it never fails. People will shock a dog when they never shock a dog with a bumper in their mouth. Never do that. And why this person who is a trainer and dog breeder would do that is beyond me. That is absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. Man, I am so sorry, brother. I would try a softer dummy, a canvas one. I mean, they have them made out of. It's almost like fire hose material. Real soft to the touch, and of course something like a Donkin, um, dead duck or dead pheasant, or at least a teal or a dove is small. I mean, they may even make them in chuckers. Um, and you can they also make a neat. You can put like a syringe and add scent to it. So yeah, that is one way. And I keep forgetting that you have multiple dogs too. That's one thing I keep forgetting. Um, but I would throw a dummy. Here's what I would do. I would throw a training dummy. If she doesn't pick it up, bring her back to your side. Hold on to her. And then send your older dog and have your older dog bring it. Throw that bumper again, send your old dog. Do that 2 or 3 times, and then send your pup and see what happens. And if she doesn't want to pick it up, stop it. Just stop with her. Just let her be out there. Let her be out there. Keep her on tight leash and keep her at heel, or they got tie down stakes you can use. Yeah, I've never had a problem with Bougie not picking up. I've never had a problem with a dog ever not wanting to pick up something. I've never had that problem. I've had them where they'll play with it and try to run off, but I've never had them not want to pick it up. I mean, that game of fetch is the ticket. So here's what I would do. I'd go out there tomorrow, Jeff. If you got time, go out there tomorrow. Just take your new dog, take your puppy, throw a bumper. If she doesn't want to pick it up, go get it. Throw it again. If she don't want to pick it up, go get it. Throw it again. If you still don't want to pick it up, bring your old dog out. Throw it. See if she'll pick it up with the old dog out there. If she doesn't do that, then let your old dog have some fun. I always try to end it with a good note, but sometimes she wins. Yep. I'm having that problem with Bougie right now. Bougie is right now, I'm going through a adolescent stage with her, and she's all fired up with about the first 15, 20 minutes. And then towards the end of the training session, as we're just going to have something to be fun, or not necessarily fun, but something, maybe starting something different. She just, I wouldn't say she shuts down, but she's not as enthusiastic as she is. And I really got to work hard to end it on a good note. So yeah, I'm having a little female adolescent issues right now with her. My boy don't like to pick up hard bumpers, but loves the dead duck bumper and the canvas bumper. Yeah. And I think it's the texture. I think a lot of it's the texture. Because right now, I mean, she shouldn't have any puppy teeth. Her puppy teeth should be gone. So that shouldn't be the issue. The issue is she had a bad experience and she hasn't forgotten it. Man, I wish you lived closer. I live closer to you. I'd be out there with you on doing all this. That's what I would try, dude. Let me hang on one little second here. Hang on a little second. They are gone? Who's gone? What's gone? They are gone. What's gone? I can't find it, what I'm looking for. Jeff, do you first of all, I don't know what is gone. So you say they are gone. Maybe I missed something or said something and I misunderstanding what you're saying. But do you by chance see if you can find Southern Loon Retrievers? Southern Loon Retrievers. She just cowers when she sees the collar, so I think I'm better off without one. Oh, snow geese. Yeah, she's had a bad experience with a collar. There's a guy out there called Southern Loon Retrievers. I know he's got a TikTok. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel or not. But check him out. Check him out and see if he's got anything on that. Man, that sucks. See, Bougie doesn't like the collar, but she knows that when I get the collar out, she's getting ready to go have some fun. And I very seldom use it unless she gets away from me. That's the only time I use it. The only time I use a collar is when because I'm afraid if she gets away, and I'm talking about a good distance away, I can hit it one time and have her come back. Got to get the kids to bed. Thanks for the input on the duck food. Good night. All right, Christopher, thanks for coming in, man. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I really do appreciate it, buddy. And you have a great evening and a great week. I only use the vibration. Oh, man. My kids threw a ball so much today, my dog put itself back in the pen. That's funny. I'm going to be honest, I was lazy this afternoon, man. I got off work at 5 o'clock. I had every intention of taking Bougie and going somewhere today. And I went into the bedroom and I laid down, dude. I mean, I was like, ugh. Well, I got to get on the stick tomorrow. I know Bougie's you have to work these dogs every day, especially these German wire hairs. I mean, they're so hyped up. I got to get her back outside. Get on the stick, bub. Cody, how you doing today, man? You home? You working? You fishing out on the great northwest angle? What are we doing? Another day. It was almost 60 degrees today. It's been 60 here for a week, over 60 for over a week. You know, Randy, my dog, Bougie's the same way. She's a totally different dog without it. When she puts it on, when I put that collar on her, it's like her IQ points go up by 50. All I can say, Jeff, is take your time, brother. Be patient. Take your time. She loves chasing birds out of the feeder. Take your time, man. She's 60 in March is the record. Oh my goodness. Randy says he was off today. I was off Friday and Saturday. I did 9 hours Sunday. I did a little over 9 hours a day. I'm just glad the time's changed so I can get out and do things more in the afternoon before it gets dark. I'm going to make some phone calls and talk to some people tomorrow, Jeff. I've written it down, some things down, so I'm going to see if I can't find an answer for you, what to do, where to go from here. But I would definitely. All right, Jody, you have a great evening. You take care of yourself. I would definitely, I, I would definitely change up bumpers and try to get her like a Dunkin' Dead Duck bumper, whether it's teal or whatever. I would try a canvas bumper as well. See if that helps her out a little bit. And then when you're training her, train with the old dog. So the old dog kind of teach her that, hey, this is fun. And if you don't want to pick it up and bring it back, then you're not going to have any fun. I was working on something and had the dog out. I thought he was just being good. All right, I'll wait for the rest of it. Dog training headaches. Yes, it does. Yes, it equals headaches. Hopefully, I'm going to get out and shoot a little bit this weekend. I think I'm just going to go out and shoot some skeet, have some fun, not even carrying a camera, just have some fun. All right, Charles, you take care of yourself, man. Appreciate you coming in tonight. I think she will eventually snap out of it. It's just getting her. It's just all about your sanity and your patience. Chewing on a stick and something. He chewed the collar off. Well, I'll show you something. So I didn't put the collar on quite well one afternoon, and we actually was on a hunt this year. We were hunting, and I thought I had the collar on, and I didn't have it on correctly. And Bougie was on her dog stand, and she was all being all quiet, and that's what she did at the end of the dog collar. So there's the collar, and she ended up chewing that up. Yes, sir. All righty. What else? I just like trying to read the comments. Oh, man. So what else, guys? What else are we going to talk about tonight? What else y'all want to talk about? We talked about food plots, turkey loads, dog training. Talked a little bit about bougie. Well, I'll be out. I'm quite sure he'll be in school Friday, but I'll probably be hitting the Santee. The Watery Gun Range on Highway 378, right outside of Sumter County in Richland County, right out of Sumter County. I'll be there Friday. And then I think Saturday, if all goes well, I'm going to be doing a cooking video if all goes well. Heck, I can't remember. Heck, I can't even remember now. I can't remember what the name of this thing is. All the names, I don't throw the box away, and I don't know what the. Randy, I hate to tell you, but I can't think of the name of it right now. I don't believe I have the box anymore. Oh, wait a minute. DT Systems. I use the DT Systems. Randy, DT Systems sports collar. Just saying he's like the sport dog. And hang on, I gotta turn some air conditioning on in here. I gotta turn my fan on. It's getting hot in here. Mine, I don't have. There's no vibrate on this one. It's just a tone. It's the shock and a tone. But this is 1,100 yards. 1,100 yards. There's the box right there. I thought I had thrown it away. There we go. But so far, it's been a good collar. I had a sports dog years back, and it was a good collar. I loaned it to my son and never got it back. So, went and got this one for Bougie. Well, you have to remember also that she's a pointer, and we will be training this year on bird hunting. And sometimes they just get out there, man. They get out there, and so I'm going to attempt to. I don't know how well I am, but I'm going to attempt to train her to work close. But we'll see how that rolls. And we'll just see what happens. But what's really, I mean, those of y'all that know me, I don't, when I travel, Bougie is in the front seat with me. I mean, she's in the front seat. If there's somebody else with me, then she'll be in the back seat. But I really need to start putting my kennel in the truck, especially when we start to bird hunt, because since I do all this pretty much myself, when we start the bird dog training portion, hopefully hopefully by the end of the month, I'm going to have her in a kennel in order to go place a bird on the ground so she doesn't follow me or watch me go do it. So that's going to be upcoming. Or at least put the kennel on the ground behind the truck so she doesn't see me. Got to do something. Got to do something. But as a bird dog, I mean, they do range. They do range out there. So that's why I got it. That was the reason I got this one, is because they will, if she is ranging out there, or God forbid she jumps a rabbit and takes off after it, or jumps anything else, I can get her back to me. Alrighty. We got about 10 minutes, guys. Let's find something else to talk about. I like these kind of conversations, man. I like to answer questions and talk about y'all's topics too now. So I only got about 3 or 4 people in here, so y'all help me out. You can't buy a bird for training. Oh man. Man, I would tell them to go take a flying leap somewhere. I'm going to attempt, if maybe later on, is to buy a off the ground chicken coop and go purchase maybe a dozen quail or so. Maybe start off with pigeons and put them in the coop, put it in the backyard so I can give her live birds. That is one game plan. So I'd tell somebody to go take a flying leap. They told me I couldn't. We'll have a lot of body parts for her, wings and such. Yeah. I still have some in the freezer, wings. So, I still have wings, duck wings. The thing is, I don't want to use those for bird dog training. I don't want her to point a duck. Go send her on a retrieve and she ends up pointing one. So I want to use something that smells like a quail or at least a pigeon or something different from a duck. But I will tell you, I got a little problem we're trying to work out right now, and that's she's breaking. When I first started with the dummy launcher, she got all excited about it and watched it fall. And here lately, she has been breaking. So I'm either have to tie her on a short leash and stake her down. Hopefully she won't rip the stake out of the ground. Or I'm going to have to try to find a friend to step off and fire it off while I hold her. Really. Yeah. You didn't hear this from me, but sometimes there's some people out in this world need to get a good butt whooping. And that's all she said. That's all I got to say about it. There's just some people that need a good butt whooping. You know, it's funny because I don't mess with them. I don't tell people they got to hunt. I don't tell people, why are they trying to tell me what? Quit trying to tell me what to do. Do your own thing and leave me alone. I'm leaving you alone. You leave me alone. The world will be a better place. All righty. Well, I guess it's about that time, guys. Who's all left in here? Who do we have left in here? Just shout out real quick. Who do I have left in here? I know Jeff's here. Or at least I think he's here. Who else? Who else is left in here? Shout out. Give me a shout out real quick. Who else is left in here? Mark J. Great. Yeah. I'm fixing to leave and you just getting in there, brother. What's going on? How you doing? Kyle was in here earlier. I don't know if he's still in here, but he was here earlier. Well, skin and beavers. I got you. Y'all got to the end of the month. Is that correct? End of March? Mark, you need to get you some of this, buddy. Some of this new TSS cold turkey from Salt Creek. Look at there. Look at that. 1 3/4 ounce, 1,100 feet per second, number 9 TSS. This is the ticket, Bubba. This is the ticket right here. All right, Randy, you take care of yourself, brother. You have a good week and appreciate you coming in. Thanks for your support, man. We got about 2.5 minutes left, and then I'm going to be out of here. I got to get up early and go to work as well. But that's what we're doing. This week we're going to be working with Bougie some more. Hopefully I'll get that new optic in here and I can get a video out on it. Probably do it right here. Do a little unboxing video. And then show y'all how to mount it. And then hopefully in about another week, and get out there and do some more and really dial this ammo in with a new optic and show you what this stuff really can do when you're dialed in. So hopefully that works out. Other than that, guys, that's really all I got tonight. Y'all that are left, I sure do appreciate y'all coming in. Really enjoy having conversations with you guys, just talking about ducks and whatever, just duck hunting in general. Really do. We're going to keep doing this and keep doing videos, and maybe not as many as I was during the hunting season, but we will be coming out with new videos and just having a good time with it, man. That's all I can say. But anyway, Jeff, you have a good night. Mark, you have a good night. I know Randy's already gone. Whoever else is left in here, appreciate y'all coming in. Hope y'all have a great week. Hope you have a great evening and a great week. And we will see y'all next time on Daddy Duck 365. No worries, Mark. No worries whatsoever. Y'all have a great one, man. We'll see y'all next time. Later.